way Chelsea is handling these transfer negotiations is absolutely absurd. And any club that is actually folding, like Arsenal did with Madueke, because Madueke gets signed to Chelsea for 30 million, sold to Arsenal for 52 after flopping. So now the same thing is happening here with Nicolas Jackson, who is getting valued at around 65 million, with teams like Newcastle and Man United asking what's the price, just in case we can't get Sesko. Nicolas Jackson might be a player we end up pivoting to, and they want 65 million. 65 million, yes, is going to be cheaper than Sesko, but I don't understand this, because Chelsea actually paid 32 million to bring him from Villarreal, right? So he ends up going to Chelsea for 32 million, and then he ends up having an underwhelming-ish seasons. All right, first season in, 14 goals, 5 assists, not too bad. Following season, 10 goals, 5 assists, so he's regressed. Now, Chelsea have been underwhelmed with Nicolas Jackson since he signed, right? So it seems like he hasn't lived up to the potential. So 32 million, you'd think he's going to probably leave for max 40 million, but in the ranges of 30 to 40 million. I understand he's a bit on the younger side, but at the end of the day, signed him for a certain amount, and he hasn't really overachieved that certain amount. I feel like he's done exactly what that price tag is, which is double-digit goals. So he's kind of stayed at that. So how is it doubling? How has his value doubled? Because we all know if Nicolas Jackson actually played like a 65 million striker, Chelsea would have never came out and bought two strikers worth 85 million. 30 million on Delap, 55 million on João Pedro. So you're not really going to, if you value him over both of these guys, why exactly is Nicolas Jackson going to get that amount? And the thing is, Chelsea might even get it, because the way they handled the Madueke situation, the way they actually got profit off João Félix, it's absolutely crazy. Whoever is in charge of transfers for Chelsea needs a raise. Needs a raise. If they can get 60 million, even 50 million for Nicolas Jackson, whoever is handling these transfer exits needs to get a raise from Todd Bowley, because he is actively scamming clubs, and the clubs are folding to it. Instead of actually sticking truth to what they value the player, they're willing to overpay, because in no way is Noni Madueke 52 million. In no way should João Félix be a profitable exit. These are players you should be kind of either, I think Noni Madueke should have been maximum 35 million since you brought him in for 30. And then João Felix should have been a player that you end up losing money out, because you loan him out to Milan unsuccessfully. Bring him back, he still wasn't good with you. So how exactly did you get a profit off him? That's what mind boggles me. And then Nicolas Jackson, the same thing. You literally brought in two different strikers because you weren't satisfied with this guy, and now you're gonna double the transfer fee. Over double technically, because 32, times 2 is 64. You want 65. You're going to get over double. That's absolutely absurd. And if Newcastle or Man United miss out on Sesko and they actually pay over 60 million for Nicolas Jackson, the fan base is going to be heated too. That just shows you how much of a scam that is, because to me, I value a Nicolas Jackson at 35 to 40 million. But they're going to get a good fee out of him, and it's crazy, because you would think, Chelsea, they need to be regulated by PSR, but look, they're turning bad transfers into profits. So you can't really expect much out of it. It's not like Man City, when overnight it's 300 million spent and they haven't really had any exits. But honestly, Chelsea, man, what I have to say is, whoever's handling those transfer exits, you need an absolute raise, because if you get the 60 million for Nicolas Jackson, I'm gonna tip my cap off to you, and I'm gonna be like, wow, that's absolutely incredible, because they are quite literally broad daylight robbing clubs. They're letting you know, and you could do your research, and they're like, we want this or nothing, and they're getting it. Crazy, man. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. What do you think about Chelsea's transfer business this transfer window. I think if Liverpool wasn't going crazy this window, Chelsea would have had the best one. Hands up, man. I'm going to be honest. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.